Hello and welcome to the Screen Chronicles. I'm Colby. With me as always is Steve. And today we're coming at you with a final episode recap review of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Steve, it's been a wild ride, season 2 here, but what'd you kind of think of this finale?
All right. So start out, we're going to go into our non-spoiler thoughts first. So if you haven't seen it somehow, that's fine. Go ahead, listen to this bit. But non-spoiler, this was awesome. It was freaking awesome. You know, not to give it away or anything, but God damn, I loved it. You know, I did.
Yeah, without saying anything else, this really struck the chord inside me of my inner Star Wars child, that kind of excitement. I hadn't been this excited about something happening in Star Wars, dare I say. I think maybe the last time would have been when Vader came out in Rogue One. Before that, maybe not since Revenge of the Sith had I been this excited about something happening in Star Wars. And we'll talk about what that was momentarily. Overall, though, dynamite finish to the season. I'm extremely satisfied with the entire season. They killed it again. You know, you never know. Season 1 was dynamite. You never know how they're going to do with the second season, but I think they upped the game.
I think they did. This season to me had a lot of other characters coming in and stuff like that, and I think this episode, one of the reasons I like it is because they did do a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
But I also think though, and that was amazing too. I think other episodes, it was sometimes a hit or miss. It was mostly hits for me. It was mostly hit. There were a couple of misses though. I really like the fan service they did in this though, but also as far as the character arc of Din Djarin, Grogu, like it was awesome. It was so freaking well done. Like,
yeah. Awesome. Another thing too is like the CGI and the effects in this entire season were like really, really good. Going back to the first episode with the worm,
mm-hmm.
the giant crate
dragon worm.
That thing, like the whole series seemed movie quality. I feel like a lot of times in TV show we expect a little bit more stripped back effects and stuff, but no, they did not deprive us of good effects. That is for sure.
Yeah, I think there was a few wonky times this season, but yeah, I think generally this whole last episode was pretty great.
Yeah, and we might talk about one or two of those times. We'll talk about it today. I don't know.
I think we both loved it. I think we're going to have to get into spoiler talk here to talk about it. If you haven't already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you do that and give us a like, help the algorithm out. Or if you're listening on podcast, make sure you follow us, sign up for automatic downloads. Yeah. Also, we're going to be talking about, we're going to get back into some Last Kingdom stuff here. And we're also going to be doing our full season review and just general talk of the whole season. Now we've seen all of the season 2 episodes here too coming down the pipeline.
Yes.
So you'll want to stick around and you want to know about that. Otherwise, though, you ready to get into spoilers?
Let's just jump into spoilers, man. Let's do it.
Luke fucking Skywalker.
Skywalker. What? I mean, we're going to talk about this a lot, and I don't want to jump way ahead.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying, like, I haven't been that excited for a sequence in a Star Wars affiliated thing since then. I mean, that Rogue One, probably with Vader, was the last time I got that excited.
Yeah. I mean, there was, listen to our sequel talk so I don't to go on a sequel rant here.
Yeah.
We have a sequel talk here on podcast and YouTube where we talk about the sequels every episode. Make sure to check that out.
We did that so we wouldn't have to talk about it during these videos because sometimes we can't help it.
We can't. It happened all the time in our apartment. We would just be like, oh, I like this trailer for Star Wars. And then we would just rant about The Last Jedi for about an hour and a half with each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, Luke he just wasn't handled well in that. I didn't like it.
In the sequels, right?
Exactly.
I agree.
I talked about it in that one in depth. I kept waiting for that episode to do something awesome with him. And they just kept disappointing me. He walks out at the end.
Seems like it's going to be like the most epic Star Wars thing ever.
Here we go. Like, this is the guy who saved the galaxy. He saved the galaxy. in the original trilogy. He is the original hero. I mean, they after you flush out the prequels and stuff, you see how Vader redeemed himself, and you get to appreciate he's the chosen one and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Luke is the one who saw the flaws. He fought against the dark side. He said no in the instance where Anakin gave in to anger.
Amen.
So I mean, this is the fucking GOAT of Star Wars here. You know,
he is.
Yeah, he walks out. Last Jedi, you're coming out.
Big spoiler alert if you haven't seen Last Jedi, real quick.
And you probably just shouldn't see it because you'll feel better. You'll feel better. You won't be as angry.
Oh, I was mad.
Yeah, he comes out, and you're like, this is it. They fire at him. You're like, this is going to be his awesome moment. He's going to take down the whole First Order. They're lined up on this sand dune in front of him. You know, they shoot at him. He brushes.
It's going to make up for the horrible 2 hours that we just watched. and
the whole time you're like, for the rest of the show, you're just like, I'm not enjoying it, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
But then Luke Skywalker, he's coming out. You're like, this is it. And you're like, all right, the awesome part's going to happen. You know, you're like, oh, he's going to destroy all those things. He's going to run out and fight them. Something crazy is going to happen. He's going to lead an awesome Avenger Endgame level charge. You know, even Endgame wasn't out yet. That was just in my head. Yeah, I was seeing there. It just doesn't happen. You know, eventually Kylo Ren comes down and oh, here comes a sweet lightsaber fight. He does some cool dancing around and stuff. Some of it was kind of cool, but they weren't fighting. And he has an awesome line though to Kylo. But otherwise it's just kind of eh. And then you find out he's a Force ghost. So he wasn't even there.
A hollow Force projection.
He was literally phoning it in. Luke was literally phoning it in.
There's no risk.
And then you're like, all right, well,
I mean,
he's there.
He did die, I guess, but
that's just the thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Why did he die? Yeah.
He wasn't there. So you're like, all right, at least he'll get his moment in the next episode. You know what I mean? But no, then he dies. He phone called too hard with the Force. Essentially, we never got that.
What if that happened?
Moment.
What if I called you about something super exciting that I just needed to give you the energy that I had because and I died because it was so exciting.
Well,
and
maybe it would have happened because after this episode ended, you know, you're like, you need to call me and we might have died if. If anything, though, we would have died if we didn't call each other.
If I had to resort to sending my Force projection to tell you how much I love this episode of The Mandalorian, then I might have died.
All right, but anyway. He never got his moment. And in this, it's like Favreau has been just redeeming everything. You know, that
Boba Fett.
But they were instantly all the Boba Fett haters, who I was probably one among them, who made fun of him. He died. He died by a blind guy. And they made a whole episode where he just kicks ass the whole time. That's all he does. He just kicks ass.
It was amazing.
They made Mando cool. They made the Force cool. They're explaining how the First Order could have got there, because that was always a big issue with me. They're trying to unite everyone. You know, some of us sequel haters, us original trilogy and prequel lovers, the original trilogy lover people, you know what I mean? They're trying to get everyone in. And Luke has his awesome moment. We've was all we wanted.
For so long. And we didn't even know we were getting it. Maybe that was part of the anticipation with Last Jedi, is we knew Luke was going to be in it, and we thought he was going to be like this in that. He just was extremely disappointing in that movie. And not Mark Hamill's fault. Mark Hamill has killed it every time. It's just Mark the writing for the character. Yeah, it's the writing for the character. And then in Rise of Skywalker, they try their best to have a redemption moment with Luke to the best you can with a Force ghost.
But he's already dead.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to Mandalorian talk, and we're going to dive into that Luke scene later on. But first, we open up the episode, and Boba Fett is trying to hunt down this Imperial shuttle. It's similar to the one Palpatine would be in back in the original trilogy. Yeah. And aboard this shuttle, apparently, are two actors from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah.
A lot of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. actors in this.
Two main ones, too, I guess. I don't watch that show, so...
what's her name? Feck? Right? The bounty hunter with the geared
Fennec.
ab. I think, yeah, she's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think Axe
Oh.
Woves, the one Mando,
Oh.
I think he was from.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're these two Imperial pilots, and they're transporting Dr. Pershing, who, as we had predicted in season 1, was a cloner because he had kind of that Camino badge on his shoulder that we had seen in the prequels. That never got confirmed in season 1.
Yeah.
It ends up getting confirmed once Boba Fett actually stuns the ship, deactivates it with an ion cannon. It's like, all right, prepare to be boarded, mofos, because I'm coming in.
That was sweet too.
That
Just
was
the
cool.
ship like right in front of them.
We find out when he comes aboard, Mando comes aboard, and Cara Dune, the guy is like, you don't want to do this because this is a very valuable asset to the Empire. He is a cloner. They don't say a Camino cloner. They just say he's like an official cloner.
Mhm.
So that just confirmed it from our predictions in season 1. I think everybody already knew that.
Yeah.
He ends up like pointing the gun at Dr. Pershing.
Yeah, like he pulls him into him like as a human shield and like kind of a hostage.
It's a threat. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he must realize they want him. And then the other guy though, he's just like I don't even know this guy. And the other guy just bam.
I'm not with him. Like, let's talk about this. He's like, and then the guy just shoots him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, this guy is loyal to the Empire, but not so much his co-pilot. Hate to see it. Cara Dune is like, they have this little showdown, and he has some smack talk for her. He goes like, "Oh, I noticed the tear on your face for an Alderaan, because Cara Dune's from Alderaan. That's her home planet."
That was
like,
blown up in the original trilogy, the first Star Wars or New Hope.
That was the first planet the Death Star blew up in A New Hope, and that was Princess Leia's planet. He's like, I was on that Death Star that blew it up. I saw it get blown up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, which one? And in my head, I was just kind of like, it's like, good comeback, Cara, but he just told you which one. The one that blew up Alderaan.
I was thinking that too.
But she was saying that because like the Death Star's blown up like a gajillion times. No, it's been, it always gets blown up. Even when it's a planet and they try to make a Death Star out of it, it gets blown up. So even when you try to get a whole fleet of 1 million Star Destroyers that are like Death Stars, they all get blown up. So just listen.
Stop making Death Stars.
There's got to be other ways, people. Anyway. So there's some tension, but this guy's like smack talking her, and the whole time I'm just thinking like, shoot him in the face right now. And she does. And it's like, it's pretty awesome.
I think that's the first time we ever see like someone like the camera's like right on his face too as he got shot. Like get blaster shot in the face. It was pretty sweet. It was also too like he was just like he kind of humanized the Empire again. We talked about in our last episode. He was just like, there was millions of people on the
Death Stars.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, there's probably like a billion people on Alderaan though. So
this hypocrite, dude, because he's just like making fun of her planet getting blown up. He's like, I saw Alderaan get blown up. Yeah, I was there. I saw it. And then she's like, well, we blew up 2 Death Stars. Like, whoa. There's a lot of people on those Death Stars.
Triggered.
How funny is that?
That was funny.
Anyway, it was a good sequence. So glad that guy got shot in the face right there, because he was being real annoying about Alderaan and stuff.
He was a douche.
He was.
They grab Pershing though, and then now's the time to gather up some allies. So Boba and Mando roll up on Bo-Katan, and how sweet was it too when Mando and Boba Fett, like the Mando cool in his own right, Boba Fett who was cool and has been remade into a cool dude.
Recoolified.
Recoolified. They just roll into the cantina or the bar, and they're just like looking around and just like just awesome Western feel, and they're just like clearly like the 2 baddest guys like by themselves when they go somewhere, and now they're together, and everyone's
like the coolest armor like ever. Like the Mandalorian armor. Find me armor that looks cooler than the Mandalorian armor.
I don't think it can, man. I think he beats Boba, even like the original.
Well, both. Which one?
I think he beats Boba Fett. Like,
yeah, but even like Boba Fett's armor, both. Like just the Mandalorian style. Even Bo-Katan's armor is amazing. Like,
oh yeah, Bo-Katan
looks so cool. I don't care what kind of Mandalorian you are. Your armor looks awesome. It's just a cool design. But they roll in and they roll up to Bo-Katan like, yo, we want your help to do this thing we got to do.
And she's like, we're not all bounty hunters. And they're like, yeah, but we're going after Moff Gideon. And she's like, oh, the Gideon, huh?
Yeah. And she is interested in that because he has the Darksaber, which he got from Bo-Katan, who wants it to rule Mandalore and retake Mandalore. Again, whoever has the Darksaber holds the power to retake Mandalore. And Bo-Katan feels like it should be her. So she's very interested in knowing where he is. And I think she like says a line like, you guys don't even know where he is. Like, you're never going to find him. Mando's like, obviously you didn't see episode 7. We got those.
We already had Bill Burr help us. Okay. Like,
yeah, Bill Burr already helped us.
You need to recap it up.
There's just this smack talk. They hear Boba Fett talk and they like recognize the voice because she's dealt with clones. We know this from the Clone Wars. And she's like, well, you're not a Mandalorian, that's for sure.
And he's like, yeah, I never said it was.
Yeah. And then Bo-Katan's sidekick says to Boba Fett, I didn't know sidekicks were allowed to talk.
Her first line.
And I'm just like, you're a sidekick. Why
you're
are you
Bo-Katan's sidekick, girl? And then they square up. I like it was a cool fight, but also I just didn't like that she was able to hang with Boba Fett. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were trying to make a point like, oh, look, she's tough. But like, Boba Fett killed like a whole platoon with his fucking knee.
And then she just like mops the floor with him real quick.
Well, she doesn't just beat him up, but like she does suplex them at one point, and then like they like flame throw each other down so neither of their flames hit each other.
Yeah, it's not like she straight out won, but she definitely kind of got the better of him there.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't like that.
It's like
Boba Fett.
Anyway,
Boba Fett, dude. Nah.
Bo-Katan is like, yo, if you guys wanted to fight like that, we never would have had a problem
losing old Mandalore, man.
Yeah, losing Mandalore to begin with. They're in now. They're like, we know where Gideon is. He's got the Darksaber, and she's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
They get on ship then. Bo-Katan's laying out a plan. She's like, oh, this kind of cruiser, there isn't going to be a lot of people on it. And then old Pershing's like, yeah, like, you know. And, and he's like, that's not what it is. And I like Cara Dune's like, oh, great, an objective opinion here. You know, like clearly, like you're for the Empire, you know, like of course you're going to tell us our plan's bad. Yeah. You know. And then he straight up helps them.
Gives the info. But I don't really have a problem with this plot as far as the plot goes, because I've never really saw him as like a Empire fanatic. I saw him as like a guy, even in season 1, he was objecting to some of the things that the Empire wanted to do with the child.
Yeah, the client, the main client guy.
The client.
Werner Herzog's character.
He didn't want harm to come to it. He wanted to study it. He had a job to do. I kind of look at him as this guy who's just being forced by the Empire to do this stuff. And he probably doesn't really have a lot of room to say no. And for probably a number of different reasons. So I don't really look at him as like this big bad guy. So I don't think he really has a big issue just giving him all that information, because he'll probably thinking to himself, like, I can just get back to my fucking cloning job that I went to college for. And like,
instead of just taking baby blood, you know, like
instead of like, torturing children and like, but he gives him this great information, but he tells him about the Dark Troopers, about how there's a bunch of them on the ship. So they don't really need a lot of men. They're like, well, what's so good about these Dark Troopers? And he tells them they took out the weakest part, because this is like a third generation of this Dark Trooper concept. And they took out the weakest part, which was the human inside the suit. So we're talking Iron Man 3.
To me, though, that's just kind of, I was just like, but the Republic, which was all clones, kind of beat the Separatists.
CIS?
Yeah, CIS.
I was thinking of that a little bit too, because it was like droids like weren't, unless it was a droidica, they weren't that big of a threat. I never thought.
Yeah.
in the prequels. They were like easy to beat. They just could just have a million of them though.
Yeah, it's the thing is the numbers of them.
These Dark Troopers, though, there is something about them that makes them way worse. They're like blaster resistant. So
They're huge.
they're freaking huge. They look scary.
They look scary too.
They
That's
look
a big part
like
of
a
it.
mix between Vader and Emperor Zurg.
Yeah, Emperor Zurg. Zurgbots. They should have just called them Zurgbots.
I think Emperor Zurg was made as like a.
It was definitely
it's like a spoof of Vader, though.
Yeah, because
right?
he even tells.
They even do it. They
even tells Lightyear.
Toy Story.
I'm your father. Or
I
something.
am your Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, they do.
"No."
I forgot about in the elevator, right?
Yep, in the elevator fight.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. Yeah. So Pershing has given him this intel, and he's like, "You guys don't stand a chance against them Dark Troopers. Nobody but Luke Skywalker would have a chance against those Dark Troopers. So don't even try it." But anyway, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that because
that's funny.
He didn't even know.
Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't even know. He was probably his mind was probably blown when he saw
when Luke showed up. He's probably like, "This is awesome."
He's like, I haven't seen this since the prequels, man.
Yeah. But what he does tell them about these Dark Troopers is that they all are battery powered. So they actually take time to turn on, like your phone in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And so they like need to be on their chargers. And then when you turn it on, you got a couple minutes. So he's like, you guys have a couple minutes before Gideon turns them on. And I also like jumping ahead just a little bit when they do start trying to go in and start attacking the ship and stuff. Gideon just immediately like start the Dark Troopers up. And I was just thinking, that's a good bad guy. That's a smart bad guy. Let's just go to our strongest plan first. You know what I mean? I feel like
That's
too
the
many
best
bad
kind of
guys
bad
save
guy.
that till the end.
Yeah, like don't make them inept. Don't make them like a Bond villain. Like, I'm gonna leave the room and let's make sure this slow killing device gets them. You know, like
or like let's gradually increase the difficulty for them to get to us. We'll save our. No, he's just like get the Dark Troopers going.
Yeah, go
hit them up. But anyway, so that's the plan.
Yeah, well, they come to the plan. All right, well, how we'll get around this is we'll send out the females. They'll do their job. They'll get it done. And then Mando will be the distractor, and he'll sneak behind.
They're
the distraction, rather.
Yeah,
and he'll sneak and he'll turn them off, and he'll go get the kid or whatever.
And I gotta say, Mando's been playing some Assassin's Creed when he gets on this ship. We'll get there, but he's been playing some Assassin's Creed a little bit.
Then they come up with the plan. Right? We'll get you back in your ship. We'll roll up on their Star Destroyer, and we'll pretend we're firing at you. We'll sell it. You know, we'll have our people in there. They'll land, and that's how we get in there. And and it was I thought it was really cool too how it looked convincing too when they were like rolling up. They just like land out of hyperspace, and Boba's like shooting at.
Yeah.
They're like dodging, and
it looked good. Like he's so good at like accidentally missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like stormtroopers. If stormtroopers are accidentally trying to miss, they'd probably hit something. So I mean, the clones didn't miss. You know what I mean? Clones didn't miss.
That's what he's got. Clone in him. He's clone.
Yeah. But you know what else I also like about this is like Moff Gideon and like the Admiral lady on the ship. They weren't just like, all right, come on, get on board. They were like playing it by protocol. They're like, no. You pull off until we get rid of this guy with our TIE fighters, you know, and then we'll assess if you can come on our ship, because this could be, you guys could be Mando and his female crew that are going to come on and try to take the child, because we're kind of expecting him to come after us at some point. So Gideon's not dumb, you know, but they force it. Like Bo-Katan is like looking worried, like, oh, they're not letting us on. Let's just go for it. And she's like, no, we need to go now. We need to go now, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of force it. And it works.
They just go in through, and they were like even still trying to get those TIE fighters out to do like the protocol. And they had to like pull them back in, and then they just crash land in there.
I love how they come out like a vending machine.
Yeah.
I think it's not like the most practical place to have a docking bay, but I can't say much anymore because I did see other docking bays around. So that's just like the front one. You can only shoot like one ship out at a time, and then like it's a one-way street, so like you can't really have people come and land there. Yeah. It's just to me, it's not super practical.
Yeah, I was like, Battlefront 2, you know, you have to go to the side, you know.
Yeah.
The original PlayStation 2. I'm
Yeah.
talking.
I like
But-
when they drop from below the ship.
Yeah,
They have they have one.
That's what.
they
Yeah, it
show
makes sense
today.
to be underneath. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
It works. Boba Fett is like turns like, well, I guess I didn't get them. And as he's like about to jump into hyperspace, his ship does like a 360 and just blows up both TIE fighters that were shot out at him. So easy. And I'm just thinking Boba just could have done that at any point he wanted.
He's a dude.
But that ship is awesome too.
Mm-hmm. His ship is awesome. Stormtroopers come in and check in on the wreckage. The girls just start coming, shooting them out. They start just wrecking the place. It was pretty sweet. The one thing I was like, why couldn't we see Boba Fett? I guess maybe if we had Boba Fett there, it might have took us away from like appreciating Mando or something. I don't know. And Axe Woves, who was also part of Bo-Katan's crew back in the 3rd episode, he wasn't here for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll explain it another time, but I was just like, why don't we have him either? It was a cool crew though. I mean, rolling through.
Yeah.
But I think you told me this, so I think this was the Stormtroopers' worst outing that we've seen.
I don't want to take anything away from Cara Dune and Fennec and Bo-Katan, and I don't want to take anything away from them because they were boss in this, and they have some great sequences in this, kind of just blasting through.
Mm-hmm.
But the Stormtroopers really didn't have a good day. And there were a couple of really cringy times. Like there's one time when like a stormtrooper was running up behind them, and they were like backs were turned to it. And the stormtrooper's like, hey, wait. And it gives them time to turn around, pull out their gun, and he still hasn't pointed his gun at them. And they shoot him. And I was like, okay, that's not super believable for any show or movie, because like this guy, if you're playing Battlefront 2, you know what I'm saying? You're like saying, well, first of all, you're not saying, hey, you're just blasting.
Yeah.
And if you see they're turning, you're like diving behind one of those crates that are in
circle,
there.
man. You're hitting circle and you're rolling out of the way.
Rolling. So bad day for the Stormtroopers.
For whatever, I forget why, but the 2 Mandalorians, Bo-Katan and her sidekick, they peel off from Cara Dune and Fennec when they're going across this bridge, and like you said, like this squadron of troopers, like turn around, and put your hands in the air. Yeah. And I was like, but why? They've already killed like all of your friends, like no way. Like if 2 people or like 4 people were going through and just like killed like all of like my DPT class, like I'm not just gonna be like, freeze there, dude. Like, where's the other 2? Where's the other 2 that were with you? No way, man. Bam.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that. It's just like
as soon as that happened, I was like, why? I said that out loud. I was like, why are you having them surrender?
Anyway,
I can see if they were like running away, trying to capture them alive for whatever reason.
Yeah, but there's no reason to capture these guys. They don't even know who they are. So anyway, they the Mandalorians jetpack up though. It was pretty cool, and they shoot them all from the side. It was a pretty cool sequence.
It was an easy kill though. I mean, they're idiots.
Yeah, it was an easy kill, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
But everybody was pretty badass in this. Cara Dune, I just loved how she walked through. She just boss walked all the way through, just shooting when she needed to, and just walking casually on a stroll. Where do you want to go for a walk today? To get our steps in. Let's go to this Star Destroyer.
She was awesome. I mean, I'm obviously biased because I think she's hot, but she also, I mean, like there was one part where like her blaster like ran out of ammunition or whatever, and she's trying to reload. She's like, "Hey, cover me," and then she just like Feck like covers her or whatever. But then she's like, "Fennec, is it Fennec or Feck?"
It's Fennec.
Fennec.
Yeah.
But she starts using it as a club though on dudes, because she's like, "That's right, I forgot we're playing on easy," and just But it was still sweet though, and she was just beating them with it, and then she reloads it in the elevator. That was pretty sweet. And then and as soon as the elevator opened, pop, 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 that was such a, like, to me, that was the best part of that whole thing. Because it was, I don't think it was one shot, but it was all very continuous in that there wasn't like time cuts. There was cuts, but there wasn't like, it felt like it was like beat the guys, get in the elevator, you see them all ride up in an elevator, however long that is, and then step out, pop, 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 like just no communication. That was badass to me.
Yeah, it was cool. I also liked when they were like stealth moding it, and there were like stormtroopers like hiding behind the things, and like they'd pop out and kill them. But
Stormtroopers hiding for their lives.
they're like, oh shit, I can't hit anything.
Help us!
But anyway, that was kind of a cool sequence overall. And it gives Mando the opportunity to go play Assassin's Creed in real life and sneak around. So he goes and, Pershing had given them the info and he knows where to go. And he's going past the dark troopers who are finally like getting suited up. And dude, by the way, when the dark troopers, like their whole routine every time they get suited up and like they all like look up at the same time and the smoke comes out. I'm just thinking like this is like a locker room before the big game. Like the boys are getting pumped. They got like the jock jams, like music playing, you know what I mean?
It's just like the best team you could like possibly imagine it. They're all, if you had one team in the NFL that was just 8 foot tall, they were the only ones juicing up, and they were about to go play like your local high school team.
Yeah,
and I mean like bah.
It just looked cool too, like the red lights and everything. And anyway,
awesome.
Mando, yeah, they like also line up sort of like March of the Wooden Soldier style.
Yeah,
and Mando like is like walking, he looks in the window, he's like, oh shit. The doors are starting to open and Mando just gets to the pad to like close them, and it's like closing and it's like, oh, he's gonna close it, and then no, freaking droid Terminator whatever grabs it and just head through. That looks sweet.
I know. He needed a down one. He needed like a down door, like what he did with the big red guy.
Yeah. The reverse of the big red guy. Yeah. I know he needed that. But one gets through. So, okay, I can buy that. It's starting to come at him. And I love the approach of these other ones. They just start trying to punch their way through that door. I have a little problem with the inconsistency of it, though.
Yeah? How so?
It was like taking them a really long time to break that glass. Yet, do you see how long it took them to like dent the 2 blast doors at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and almost get through? I don't know.
I think there was maybe more of them when they were punching, but I was thinking the same thing. I was like, there's glass there, though.
So Mando 1-on-1, 1v1, baby, against a dark trooper. Okay, let's go.
This was
Mando
scary,
instinctively pulls out the pistol. The thing's just walking at him. Shoots a bunch of times. Not even a mark on this thing. Really shiny too. Someone gave a really nice shine job.
That's what I was thinking.
I
was like, you better not ruin that sheen, Mando. Like, you better either kill it or like you better not hurt its sheen though. Either way,
dude, this thing just takes Mando, puts him against the wall, and just takes its fist and starts punching the helmet as hard as it possibly can, repeatedly. And I'm having an anxiety attack. And I'm thinking of the flashbacks of Oberyn from Game of Thrones. The last time Pedro Pascal,
the last time he fought a giant
dude, it did not end well for Pedro Pascal's head. Go watch Game of Thrones. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love this. I loved how it looked because we got the Beskar helmet on, and I'm just thinking of what's his head doing in that? Is there like a nice cushion that is like kind of absorbing the impact, or is he rattling around?
Well, even if you do, your brain is still moving around.
Still moving in your skull. Yeah.
Like that, the corpus callosum area, that's going to get some damage because the centrifugal forces. Then you got the contra coup.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have gone on the rest of the mission after that. He probably should have gone and gotten checked out over.
Probably a week off, I'd say, at least.
At least.
No contact.
No screens.
Rested up.
Okay. I love, though, the ship is getting dented, not the helmet.
Yeah, he just keeps going into the wall. That was, I was like freaking out because we saw when Gideon blew up that bomb that was next to Mando at the end of the first season, even though his armor was flawless still.
He's got hurt under the helmet.
Yeah, he still got hurt because of the shock waves and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like,
that being said, I just
imagine
know how he
like
was
pudding
conscious.
in there. like a peanut butter jelly sandwich just getting punched is what like I imagined in the helmet.
Oh my god.
Oh, so he flame throws. He starts
Yeah.
like a flamethrower, and that like it. You're like, oh, is this gonna work? Because it starts going through its like sensitive bits, and then it throws him away. To me, I was like, all right, like you said, you worked out all the kinks by getting rid of the human though. But me as a human, I'm punching a dude's head, and that thing isn't denting, and I can't see any of the peanut butter and jelly leaking out yet. Like I'm like leg rip off or like punch into the groin or something. Like you got that fist, man. Like go do some damage. And he's like, get away from me. And
yeah.
And then that's when and a few other times like I have Mando, he tries then like his stinger wrist rockets. That doesn't do anything to it. He gets thrown away again. And I'm just like, stop. Like, obviously I want Mando to make out of this, but like me as a droid, I'd be like, don't throw him away. Bring him in close. That's the danger zone.
Yeah.
Like
hold him
as,
under your arm like that.
As Mando's game plan in his corner, I was shouting, create some distance. Some distance.
Get distance. Get to the bell. Get distance. Get to the bell.
Wait for the bell. Wait for the bell.
Come on.
But eventually, though, he whips out his spear and just goes through the head, man.
Oh, man. I was like, when he got that spear, I knew it was going to pay off. I knew it was going to, and it did double over in this episode. It paid off.
Oh, my God. I love that
So anyway.
Spear.
But yeah, he like it's like through his neck joints. It was excellent. And it's been obvious he's been training with his spear because he whips his spear around like it's nobody's business.
Oh, woo! It should be part of Mandalorian training, right? To train with some melee weapons, even though most of them don't have one. But like you should have a Beskar spear. Everyone should have a Beskar spear, man. Or at least a Beskar sword. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like where your head's at. And then immediately after that, he beats a Dark Trooper 1-on-1, which is like impressive, Mando. That is a feat. He just goes right over and casually hits the blast door button.
Oh, I love that.
Outer space, and all of them just fly out.
Yes, that was satisfying.
It was satisfying. It was like, well, at first I was like, I had a moment where I was like, well, that's kind of disappointing.
That's what I was
thinking. We lost all those guys. Like, where's the challenge now? But then I also kind of knew, I was like, well, since they're not human anymore, they're probably coming back.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're not human, so they don't die in space. And we saw them with the rockets when they flew down and got Grogu, back in the Boba Fett episode. So like, there's no way they're gone. But I was like, if they are gone, that's pretty dumb.
But there's also some very questionable space physics in Star Wars to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I think of the time when in episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, when like the glass breaks open and they're in Grievous's like control bridge, and the glass breaks open, a bunch of them fly out, and Anakin, Palpatine, and Obi-Wan are just like fine.
When ships would get hit too, and I remember in episode 3, like a ship would get hit like in space and it would like start to go down. Yeah, like it's on
the whole Last Jedi concept with the bombs dropping the bombs, like having a bomb dropper
in space. An object in motion will just stay in motion. Like I could throw a paper clip and it'll go on for infinity until another gravitational force pulls it in. So like that's another thing with the Last Jedi, when the smaller ship, like they can't outrun us. It's smaller and faster. I'm just like, it's smaller, so it has less power. If anything, you guys with more power should be able to just swing up and catch them. You should be running them over. Faster? You're in space. Faster. There's no friction. Anywho,
let's not get into
it. Space physics. And also, there shouldn't be any sound in space. That's one thing that when I learned that, and like every time I hear a blaster shot in Star Wars, I'm just like, it's not realistic. But I like hearing it though. I like hearing like the sonic boom. If we never heard that from Jango Fett, that would have been upsetting. And now Boba Fett. Well, Boba Fett was in the atmosphere though when he did his, so we would have heard that one.
Right.
But anyway.
So Mando lets them all out. It's like, okay, they're coming back later somehow.
Spear kills too. Yeah. He's working his way then to the prison, because we had seen on the map where the prison was. Also to the girl squad, they found Moff Gideon was not on the bridge. They took out everyone
the bridge, right?
So like I'm thinking like he's got to be there, because at first I was like, when Bo-Katan came on this trip, I was like, she better not be the one who fights Gideon, because
And that's another thing we forgot to mention. She was adamant about that before they went. She was like,
Yeah.
I get Gideon. And Cara Dune was like, we got to take him in alive. Like he's like, he's got all these security information that we need to know.
Yeah.
And Bo-Katan's like, all right, I don't care about that. I just want to be the one to like take him down.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. She was very adamant about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but this is Mando's show. I want to see him
Mando's show, Bo-Katan.
So I was glad that he wasn't there, because then I was thinking he's definitely going to face him off. And then Mando has some other great spear kills. I love the spear kills too. He just like he takes one of them down, a stormtrooper, and then he just chokes another one out, just like lifts him up. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I was just thinking about that one. Like while he was doing it in my head, I could hear him saying like, say uncle, say uncle.
Guess who? Who do you think it is?
Said uncle. And he opens the doors, and there's Gideon holding the dark saber way too freaking close to Grogu's head. Like what if you like have a like you hold your arm out that long, like anybody, it gets tired. It's gonna drop a little bit. You're gonna, I don't know.
Where's Child Protective Services on this ship? Where is Child? And remember, we saw he has baby handcuffs. You know, he handcuffed Grogu in that episode when they caught him, and he's still got the little baby handcuffs on. I'm just like, you handcuffed a baby,
baby. Dude, we've seen them punch a baby. We've seen them shoot a baby. They now like holding a dark saber over a baby, and like I'm not getting nervous. Like, don't you hurt one of those little fuzzy hairs on his head?
And I'm thinking, here comes the showdown. This is the showdown right here. But Gideon, they kind of start to be reasonable with each other.
Like Mando is like, I just want the child. This is Heath Ledger's Joker right here, where Moff Gideon is like, you can't have the darksaber. I'm going to take the darksaber, so you can't have it. And he's just like, I just want Grogu.
I just want my Grogu.
I just want Grogu. Moff Gideon's like, fine. Like, I've actually done everything I needed to with him, and
we've got all the blood we need.
We got everything I need. I don't need him anymore. And he also kind of goes on a little spiel about Bo-Katan. He's like, I saw you've been traveling with Bo-Katan, and I know she wants the saber. That's when Mando says, I just want my phone call.
he's I don't care. Yeah.
He's like, I don't care about any of that. Like,
what you want to know about her past? And Mando's like, kid, give me.
I know.
Gideon's just like been waiting for this monologue. This is like his nemesis,
Yeah, and Mando's just like, I don't care. And he's like, you're going to listen and you're going to like it.
But it seems like he's like, all right, you can have him. Like, we got everything we need. And like,
yeah, he's like, cool.
You're like, oh, maybe he is going to fight Bo-Katan then.
And I believed it for a second. I believed it for a second.
I believed it for a second. And then he just walks over to Grogu, and Gideon just starts swinging that thing on him.
Mando is just like, No, he starts blocking it, with his Beskar armor, just like that one episode when he was just like chesting it up.
I'd imagine it would still hurt though. I'd imagine it's still like if you had a nice protective like pillow cover and someone just swung at you with a baseball bat. You know what I mean? I'd imagine it would at least hurt.
I would think so.
Because he was swinging on him. He wasn't like he was like he was.
Yeah. This was like some Luke Skywalker swinging on Vader in episode 6.
Yeah, when he's like,
at the end. Yeah. And he's swinging hard. I thought Moff Gideon looked cool when he was fighting, but it's definitely not like Jedi or Sith type moves.
Mm-mm.
He's kind of swinging it as like if I trained for a couple weeks with a saber, I think. Like,
yeah, like if you were Rey.
I would. Yeah. He was kind of swinging it like he trained for the sequel trilogy. But he looked cool. I thought it looked cool. It was pretty raw. I think raw is a good word.
Oh, yeah. And Mando, too, he gets out a spear. We knew that when we first saw the spear and that when he got the spear, we were like, that's the lightsaber weapon. And it was so great. And he had some sweet moves. He was like doing some cool like kicks with it and stuff. Like you said, like he's clearly been practicing.
When the hell were you practicing? You've had this thing for like a week, dude. Like how much time has gone by?
It was pretty sweet. Whoever did the fighting as Mando and all that, because I know Pedro Pascal, from what I've heard, he's very rarely in the suit, especially in season 1. I've heard he was in this season more, but I mean,
I
we've
doubt
seen
he
him
did
twice.
this fighting sequence. I doubt he
doubt
did this
he did.
fighting sequence. If he
So
did,
whoever did that,
well,
was
then again,
sweet.
Oberyn was using a spear in Game of
I
Thrones.
think they had a stunt double for him though for the wide
okay.
shots though.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
sure
up
Pedro
close,
Pascal probably can do some cool stuff with a spear, but this was like amazing.
That's right. He was a spear guy there too. I wonder if that is a reference, intentional or not. You know,
They do a lot of references like that.
yeah, it was a sweet fight between them two, and I was expecting Gideon to win, but he doesn't. Mando actually disarms him and then puts a spear to his neck.
Well, you know one thing he did during the fight though is he tried to use his like grappling wire to string up the wrist, which is so again, the Mandalorian armor and weaponry is designed to face
Fight
Jedi. So he made a bad mistake with that though, because you're supposed to get the wrists. Kind of got above the elbow a little bit, and so Moff Gideon's like, break that. And it's easy to kind of swipe off if it's up there. If you have it at the wrist, there's no. So well, just listen, Mando. I'm not here to critique you a whole lot. I'm just giving you maybe one thing you could improve upon in season 3. Let's get a little bit more accurate with your.
I think we definitely need a physical therapist on this ship to make sure people are at least one for recovery. I mean, he's going to have a gnarly side effects after getting punched around like that. 2, we'll help you learn the vulnerable parts of the body.
Yeah, because maybe he just doesn't understand the range of motion of the wrist and elbow and shoulder. And I don't think he does.
I was surprised though that he won though, and I thought I kind of wanted the fight to be longer, and I even told you that like right after it happened because you had watched it before I did, and I was like, oh, I kind of wanted it to be longer. Not that it was bad.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't. And I was like, why? What?
Because I knew it was coming.
Well, I was expecting just something crazy to happen. I wasn't expecting Luke.
Well, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, is this almost it? Like, okay, it wasn't easy to beat the Dark Trooper, but he did it. He got rid of all the other Dark Troopers, even though I know they're probably going to come back. But now he just defeated Gideon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, where are we going now?
Yeah, he takes him up to the bridge with the girls then. And that's what I was in the same place. I was like, what are we going to do? Like, we've killed everyone. We've got him. We've got Grogu. What's the bad thing that can happen? And then 2, but one thing that I thought was going to happen is once Mando shows up, he's got the Darksaber on his belt now, and he presents Gideon to Bo-Katan. He's like, here you go. Kara's like, oh, we've got to bring him in alive. And they're like, also, if he brings him in alive, though, the bounty's bigger. And like, oh, thinking like a bounty hunter, huh? And
but whenever they walk,
he's
in
like,
the
here
room,
you go.
Well, when they walk in the room, Bo-Katan has this weird look on her face, and I'm a little confused because I'm like, why isn't she happy? Like, she's got Gideon. I thought she was looking at Gideon and she was mad at him.
Yeah,
like, you mother,
Yeah,
but like, no, she was mad because Mando came and wielding that Darksaber. He's like, yeah, I'll check it out. Look what I got. We come to find out she looks so mad. Gideon starts to kind of explain, like, because you're right, Mando like went up like, hey, here you go. And Gideon's like, it's not how this works.
He says, she can't just take it from you if she wants to rule Mandalore. You have to win the Darksaber in a fight, in combat. And she's just like looking at him still with that crazy look in her eyes.
Yeah. And Gideon is like so satisfied right now because even though he lost his battle, he knows he like created a problem between them.
And Mando's like, yeah, I don't care. Here you go.
Yeah. He's like, just take it.
And she's just still looking at him,
And he's like,
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that.
Ooh.
He kind of does like that too. He kind of says it like that. He's like, if only it worked like that.
And he's like, all right, fine, I yield. And she
he's like, I yield.
She just keeps mad dogging him, just not looking away. Like,
eventually she's like, he's right,
So this is where I thought the next conflict was going to happen. Is I thought then the room was going to divide into Cara Dune and Mando versus Bo-Katan and her sidekick. I thought I was like, this is where we're going here. Like we're splitting teams. Some bad's going to happen here.
Yeah.
But then they all have to refocus on a problem at hand as the Dark Troopers they get an incoming, message,
like a million incoming things coming to the ship.
Boarding, and
there's like a dramatic line, like how many life forces?
Yeah, life signs or whatever.
None. 0 or something. And it was like dramatic. was like, yeah, it's the Dark Troopers.
Yeah, we know.
And
they
so Gideon is like, I love Gideon here. They like close the blast doors. I love it. They close all the blast doors.
mhm.
First thing I do too. And these things are just like coming up. It's pretty. Gideon's all like, ha ha ha, like he's happy now, like where he's at. And he pretty much tells him, he's like, you're all gonna die now, except for me and the child. Yeah. It's like, how does it feel to know that like you guys are all gonna die except me?
Mm-hmm.
And the child.
It's pretty sweet. And they're all just facing the door, guns ready.
They don't really have anything to say to that.
Yeah.
But Mando goes and puts the child down, tries to put a safe spot like behind something, and he's like, I will get you out of this, he says.
Oh, I don't remember that. I was just like zoned in. And
like,
the thing is too, he pulls out his blaster too at the door. And I was just like, you've got a dark saber and a spear. The blaster isn't the thing to use.
You've been through this too.
You figured this out already. Let's go. Let's get that dark. I'm going dark saber first. That thing gets knocked away. Spear.
Give someone else the spear, or give someone else the spear. Give Cara Dune the spear.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
At least you got those two going. I don't know what to tell you about the rest. Maybe just trying to. Now I'm like thinking of what could we do creatively here.
Well, we know
Mando's got to pass that info on though. Mando's got to be like, y'all, the blasters don't work on these guys.
I know. Like, he didn't say that. He didn't say anything. He's like, by the way, these things will punch your head into a wall.
So we have helmets. Cara, sorry.
Fennec, you're impossible to kill, so you're fine.
Yeah, they'll probably make you a new head after this. But anyway,
it's tense though, and like I'm just like freaking out because I'm just like, I had already said like I was not expecting Grogu and Mando to ride off into the sunset again this season. I knew that we couldn't end this way. So I was like, something bad's gonna happen here. What is it gonna be? Who's dying? What's going on? All of a sudden, then they get another incoming, and it's an X-wing, and I'm thinking, oh, like in this kind of happens in waves, like the X-wing. Cara Dune's like, oh great, an X-wing, we're saved, and in my head too, I was like, is it one of those New Republic guys that have been like showing up
on the X-wings a lot this season?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, is he gonna come in and like survey, and then all of a sudden like an army's gonna show up? Is it gonna be two of them that show up and somehow fight or something? But either way, I was just like that'd be kind of lame, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then my girlfriend, who in my head, because I've paid attention to the show, I was thinking, these things, which I think is reasonable. But she's like, it's a Jedi. She just says that, and I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, and it lands. And like,
when I saw it fly up, I was like, "Oh, that's Luke." I was like,
"What? You thought that immediately?"
I did, because I was expecting. I was like, we still haven't gotten like a Jedi to show up, and like we're in a point right now where these things are punching the door and they're denting it super easy, and they like won't stand a chance against all of them. Like this is like the perfect time to be saved by a Jedi to come in. I don't know how. And then the X-wing rolled up, and I was also like wondering, like going into the episode, is it going to be Ezra? Is it going to be Cal Kestis? Is it going to be Luke?
I was thinking this might even be Ahsoka showing back up, because and then after she said that, I was like, all right, yeah, like it was like I said, this was happening in steps though for me. Like it was like this, bam, 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 bam. And I was like, all right, maybe it is a Jedi. And then we see just one person get out, and I'm like, this could be Ezra. That's
Lord Voldemort.
And then it was a dark robe though, hood up.
A dark robe from behind.
Lord Voldemort
rolling through. I was like, that's Lord Voldemort. It's like he heard about like sounds like Elder Wand stuff.
Yeah.
Like the way you pass it on. So I'm gonna go throw my hat in the ring and then make it a Horcrux, and then no, I'm just kidding.
There you go. But I was just like, in my heart, I wanted this to be Luke. But I don't know if you guys remember me just bitching at the beginning of this episode, but I had been burnt before with Luke. And so I was thinking, like, there's no way they're going to give us Luke the right way, because they think it's impossible to make us happy with giving us a good Luke. So I'm like, dark robes, Jedi, Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be one of them.
Cal Kestis would have been a stretch.
Yeah. And I was even thinking it might be like a random dark Sith or something like that. You know what I mean? when I saw the dark robe. I was like, maybe this is like the Sith showing up, and he's gonna whack through all these troopers, and he's like, "That's for me," and he'll kill Gideon or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is happening in waves as we're going here.
To me, it was just like the fact that it was an X-wing coming in. I was like, it's got to be Luke. That's very identifiable with Luke. I think that's a good thought with. I think that's a good thought with the
New Republic
guys, because we've seen them in X-wings all season.
Yeah.
It's been a common threat, and we've seen one guy by himself. So it's like, okay, it could be.
I was
the New
hoping.
Republic showing up.
I was hoping for Luke, though. I really was. I was hoping.
I know you were. I know, but you've been burnt. You've been hurt.
I've been hurt.
You've been hurt. And I'm
We've
here for
all
you.
been hurt. We've both been hurt.
Listen, yeah, we as Star Wars fans, and I think we speak for the majority of Star Wars fans who have seen the sequel trilogy. In one way, shape, or form, you've been hurt by.
I'm like Hawkeye at the beginning of Endgame.
In the sequels.
I'm like Hawkeye at the beginning of Endgame, where he's just like, "Don't do that. Don't give me hope."
Jaded. Yeah,
you
me. Are.
I'm like, don't give me hope. Every time I see like a meme of like so-and-so is going to show up in this Star Wars, Kenobi show is going to start, I'm just like, don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. To me again.
I do have hope for that one, but he's my only hope.
He starts rolling up though.
So anyway, he starts rolling up. It gets really quiet, and you hear the music start playing. It's like it's the Force theme. It's called.
Yeah.
And it's just this like mellow kind of music. It like slowly builds. Just go watch it. I'm getting chills right now thinking of the music.
I'm definitely gonna rewatch it here.
And you're right. You first you see Voldemort hood kind of thing rolling in like to Godric's Hollow, it seems. But then also we forgot to mention all the Dark Troopers, as soon as that ship landed, like all stopped punching the wall and like turned around and like were at attention to face whatever was coming in. They must have some kind of like detector of like threat.
That's what I was thinking, is they must have like a threat, like new big threat coming in that's gonna override 3 Mandalorians and two other capable, bounty hunters, or Marshall and bounty hunter, I guess. Like damn, like who is this?
Yeah.
This is happening in waves.
Oh my God.
You were right on. You were like, Luke, but me being hurt, Hawkeye, I'm thinking, I'm trying to find any other thing that they're trying to do. I'm just like, who are they going to do? Who are they going to bring in, make the new big whoever, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm thinking. Like, whose spin-off show are we getting next because of this person? You know what I mean? Because that's what a lot of characters this season they've done, is like, well, now we get the Boba Fett series. Now we get the Ahsoka series.
Yep.
Yeah. But then green lightsaber. And
baby.
And then you start sending me like the right emojis.
Which is like what they are.
Which, it's excited emojis. We'll say that. And I was very excited.
Yes. And Grogu was very excited. Because I love it, because they're watching all this on the security footage and they're showing Luke Skywalker's just slaying these just awesome refined Jedi moves. It looks like Luke fighting. It looks like some of the things he would have done, but it's like refined. It's like he had more years of training, and he's been training, and he has been he's just like cutting through him like butter. Like, it ain't even a thing, man. Like, it's so easy for him to cut through these things, but he looks good doing it. And Grogu, like, when he first sees it, like, his eyes get big, and he like goes up to the screen and he's like putting his hand on the screen. He's like, this shit is so cool. Star Wars stuff is so cool. Lightsabers are cool. And I'm just like, that was me when I was like a 50-year-old baby and watching Star Wars.
That was us watching this episode. We were like leaning in.
That was us watching this episode, but it was also me the first time like I ever saw a lightsaber fight.
Yes.
And I know Grogu was doing it because he had a Force connection with Luke.
That's what maybe it was written down, but Grogu went off script. Grogu improvised, and he was just like, this shit is cool.
This is so cool.
I haven't seen this since the prequels.
Lightsaber stuff.
Oh. Dad.
Oh man, I love that, and I love lightsaber stuff.
And
so does
even
Grogu.
though I saw the green lightsaber, by the way, I was still like, we're not seeing the face. Like, I was like, they might be setting. Maybe this is Ezra Bridger. I was still in defense mode here. By the way, until I saw the black glove choking one, like right in front. Like, oh my god! I was like, Luke is the only good Jedi who chokes. You know,
and they showed his lightsaber too.
Well, I saw the lightsaber, and I was, like I said, though, I was still resistant. You know, I was like, are they going to try and stick to the Filoni verse as far as the Force users they bring in? You know what I mean? Just as soon as I saw that glove, Cardi B's WAP, that was my room. Oh my god! And then he kills the last one, and I was thinking too, because the blast doors were shut. I was thinking like, are we gonna get like a Qui-Gon moment here, where like into the wall? And just like, they're still coming through. Like, that's what I thought. Like, I was like kind of thinking that still. I don't know, but
Luke has to like go extra deep because there's 2 blast doors.
Yeah.
like remember Qui-Gon does that little like he goes through the first one. He's like, huh, and he goes through again.
But it's really cool because Grogu starts walking up towards the door. Then, you know, after he's been touching the screen.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait,
he's
what?
been touching the screen, but don't forget, like we got all like they're watching Luke, and most of the footage is like from the camera footage that they're watching. Some of it's they show you in like real time. He like crushes a droid with a force using one of those crates. Just awesome lightsaber stuff. Apparently, he used a move Anakin Skywalker used in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh my god, I can't wait to rewatch.
Yeah, rewatch that.
Oh my god.
It's really, I tried watching for it. It could be, it definitely could be something they were going for. It looks similar to it, but it was like, it was kind of like small. Yeah, it was kind of like small on the screen, so it was like tough to really tell. But then Luke gets in the elevator, and all of those droids that were just trying to smash the door down, and there's like a bunch of them, are waiting, facing the elevator, and they like take some steps toward it, and they're gonna wish they hadn't have done that, because it might have given them a few more seconds of their very short droid lives. But this was so reminiscent of the Vader scene in Rogue One. It was very comparable, because as soon as those doors open and Luke has the hood up and the lightsaber out, and he just starts slicing them, force push, slice. You know, it just,
oh my god,
force crush the last one. You know,
oh my god. I remember when Rogue One, and I was there with my brothers too, and we were watching it, and the hallway lights go out, and you just hear,
yeah.
And like you said, the alarm, and then red lightsaber. And I was like, they're going to cut there. And like, that's going to be like the end of that scene. And we just have to assume. But no, it just kept happening. We watch him go through. We watch him start killing. And I was just like patting them. I was like, are you watching?
This? Are you watching this? Is this real?
I was literally doing the same thing with Tay. I was like, are you seeing Luke? This guy looks dangerous, though, on the camera to them, right? Like, this guy just slayed all those things that Mando, like, took like half an hour to kill, like one of them, you know, and they're like, don't let him in, because Grogu is going up to the door, and Mando just walks up and he's like, open it, and like none of them, like, they're like, no way.
What?
He's worse than those things that we were trying to avoid,
right?
And he opens the door, and in walks him, and like, I see the chin, and the first thing I'm thinking is like, Sebastian Stan is under there.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh my god, it's Sebastian Stan.
Because we've seen, so I think someone made a meme of comparing young Mark Hamill from Empire Strikes Back, like when he's sitting there after he got out of the back to tank, and a photo of Sebastian Stan
with the same hair put on Sebastian
Stan.
They
put like the same hair onto him, and like side by side, at least at that angle, they look almost identical. Even Mark Hamill reposted it and like said like, happy birthday to my son or something when it was Sebastian Stan's birthday. And I was just like, that is the guy. He works for Disney. I like him. He's awesome as a soldier. He's a badass dude. He's got a metal arm as Winter Soldier. Let's bring him over with robot hand as Luke. Like, let's do it. And like that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, I can't wait to see. What do we see? What are we gonna see? He takes off the hood though, and it's it's Luke. It's definitely Luke.
It's Luke. But
it's the Snapchat filter of Luke.
It's the PlayStation version of Luke. It's listen. I feel like with faces and CGI, you can only do, and you're trying to make somebody who is actually real and recreate their face. Like maybe you can only do so good, because it was the same thing when they made Princess Leia's face in Rogue One. It just
by the way, I think Princess Leia in Rogue One was better than this, though. To me,
I agree.
This looked kind of rough to me.
This was rough. It seems like it's a consistent consensus on it. I wish they just went with Sebastian Stan.
Apparently, what they did was there was a body person standing in for Mark Hamill, but then Mark Hamill, they like de-aged his face and put it on. Like Mark Hamill did the voice and everything. Like you've seen the credits, Mark Hamill's, and apparently they de-aged him. Which Disney, you've had great de-aging with Samuel L. Jackson, with the guy who plays Hank Pym. Kurt Douglas, right? Something like that.
Okay.
So many people though you have done great de-aging with in Marvel. Like, what were you doing here, guys? Like, I mean, just the hair just didn't look like it was like on the head, and the head looked like it was like,
I'll say this, like
not in depth with like the actual head that was there. Like the face looked like it was like either too far in or too far out at times from like the head.
And especially when he talked.
Yeah.
His mouth looked weird. It kind of looked like his upper lip didn't move. It kind of looked like just his bottom lip moved.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of issues with the CGI they did in this. Again, I think they probably were in a tight bond. It's the end of the season. Who knows what their budget was?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows what the deadline was? And they might have just got to a point where like it's as good as it's going to get. And maybe we should have done another plan, but like that's what we have now. And it's too late.
I wish they would have just had Sebastian Stan. That's what I wish. I mean, like some people, I don't know if people hate Solo or not. I know it didn't make a lot of money, but I think that was really just because of The Last Jedi, though. I don't think that was because people didn't want to see a Star Wars movie necessarily. I think they were just like, oh, that one was kind of meh, you know? And like all the diehard fans like us were just like, I don't want to get burned again. But I like Solo.
Solo's good.
Solo's good. And I like the guy who played Solo.
Somebody else playing.
He wasn't Harrison Ford. No one can be Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a cinema god in his own right, you know.
And he didn't even look like, he kind of looks like he could be, but he doesn't look that much like Harrison Ford. Like Sebastian Stan looks way more like young Mark Hamill.
And he's a good actor. He's a good physical actor.
People like him. He's already got like a pretty cool fan base. Like it's a good fit. I wish they did it. And I hope if they ever do Luke Skywalker again, anything with him, then I hope they use Sebastian Stan for it.
I think it's cool though that Mark Hamill loves his character enough, and I wonder too if because he got a raw deal in the sequel trilogy, if he was like, "Hey guys, like if you ever bring Luke back and he does some cool shit, bring me. Like I will do." Like obviously, Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker to me. Like Han Solo is Harrison Ford, or Harrison Ford is Han Solo. Carrie Fisher is Leia. That's just the way it is, you know. Like
it is.
But if you're gonna have like these extended things, you know, I'm fine if like a brief scene you have someone else. But I do appreciate though that Mark Hamill is still like, I love.
I'm so happy that he was in it though. Yeah,
I still appreciate that.
I love Mark Hamill, and I'm really glad he got to be in it, because that's the thing is if you had Sebastian Stan, you probably can't have Mark Hamill back.
Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't look good. It sounded good. His voice.
Yeah, I'd say either clean up the face, like make that stuff really good, man. You got to make that shit good, and then bring back Mark Hamill, or let's just get Sebastian Stan. Because So what happens is, let's talk about this then. Luke's like, all right, give me the kid. Like he's a Force user.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
Mando's like, what if he doesn't want to
doesn't look like he wants to go.
Yeah, well, he's like, I've been taking care of him and stuff. Like, maybe you should stay with me. And, because Mando's changed a lot since he saw Ahsoka. he's lost the kid. He doesn't want to lose the kid again.
I
But
think
then
he
Luke's
realized how much he cares for the kid, because like what
Yeah.
you said before, it was always a mission for him, but now
was
he
always a job.
realizes that
Yeah.
it's his kid.
So Luke is pretty much just straight up tells him, he's like, look, like, I know you got to bond with him, but like if he doesn't get trained, then he's not going to be able to use his powers the right way, and it's not going to be worth anything to him.
I'm starting up a school, and it's going to be great. Kids
Yeah.
are going to love it. It's going to go on
gonna
for
be
years.
Safe. It's going to be really safe for all the kids that go to that school. I promise. Luke has found another Force user.
Oh my
Luke
God.
Mando
This
accepts
was
it.
just rough.
I just
He picks him up though, and he's like, all right, I'll give it to you. And it is just like, I'm crying. Like,
yeah.
I'm tearing up. I'm not like bawling, but
Yeah.
like I'm tearing up, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm like scraping my chest. like,
Yeah.
ugh. Like Tay's like, after we got done watching this, Tay's like, why is your chest all red? I was like, I was like trying to like not choke.
I was trying to see, just scratched through to my heart.
That's what I guess I was trying to do. And you just see Grogu just reaching out to Jaren, and just like reaching at his face, and like you just know that he's just like Dad, like I want to see your face before I go. And you're just like, oh my God, like don't do this to me, people. And he takes off the helmet, and Pedro Pascal is just there, and he looks like just sad, and like he's not bawling. Again, he's not bawling like like he's still trying to maintain that tough exterior that you see from the helmet, you know what I mean? But his emotions are coming through, and it was just so fucking great. Like
it was so good. God. It was so good. And Grogu touches his face. Man,
oh God.
What if Mando was like, okay, that's too much. No, he touches his face, and I was just like, oh
my God, this was
my heart
just so emotional.
Then he puts him down, and Grogu hugs his leg. He's like hugging his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then R2 rolls up. You hear the what-a-dit behind Luke, and it's R2. And I was like, when I saw R2, and I was like, ah! I was like, literally, I was like, there he is,
my dude.
Grogu is also like that too. He's like, whoa. He turns around, he walks right up over to R2, and R2 does like a little lean down at him. And I think personally, this is not the first time they met.
Yeah.
Because remember, R2 never had his memory wiped.
Mm-mm.
And R2 would have been the only one that was back during the Clone Wars that may have been around the Jedi Temple, Coruscant, back when Grogu, which we had learned earlier in the season, was when he was also there.
I think it's because when he first met Yoda, another member of his species. Well, actually, that wasn't even the first time he met Yoda. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
He like had already met Yoda and had seen like a civil Yoda, and then he meets Yoda again in the swamp.
Crazy
and just gets physically assaulted by him.
Has to zap him.
He's like, dude, I freaking met you like
he
8
like
years ago.
He like leans down to Grogu. He's like, am I gonna have to zap you too? Crazy people.
You gotta learn where you're sitting in the ship. All right.
I don't have any. Yeah. I don't have any.
You're the
eggs.
one sitting on the outside.
I don't have any eggs, Grogu. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention when Luke Skywalker walked in, Din was like, "Who are you? Are you a Jedi?" And I was like, "What? That's Luke Skywalker."
He's the Jedi.
I was like, "That's Luke from the original trilogy."
The Jedi.
But obviously, Din, being from the sect of the Mandalorians that he was from, was kind of, he doesn't know a lot about the Jedi way.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He didn't even know what a Jedi was.
Yeah, we talk about this though too. Like most of the galaxy didn't know. Like Han Solo in the original trilogy didn't really believe in the Force or anything. I mean, there was only a few thousand Jedi, from what I understand, and there was, I don't know how many planets are even in the galaxy, but billions of people, and then you might not have ever met one. And then the Empire too, I think, tried to censor them, like try and get them out of the records. Like,
yeah, the Empire did, yeah.
Yeah, so like
destroyed a lot of the Jedi.
A lot of people don't know.
It's a little weird though, because Mandalore has a lot of history with Jedi.
Exactly though. Like you'd still think though, being raised as a Mandalorian, they'd be like, these people were the people we fought, and we freaking hate them
Yeah.
because we lost to them.
Yep.
Or
So anyway,
we respect them very well because we lost them. They were a great enemy.
Exactly.
That might be the Mandalorian way to look at it.
Yeah. R2's looking at it, and then Luke just picks him up. And
all right, thanks.
No, he says it. May the force be with you. And I so wanted Din to be like, this is the way. Right back. Let's get it.
God, that would have been awesome.
No, I think it's better. It's better the way they did it, where Din is just so too broken to even open his mouth. Like
that was rough. Music too, right at this moment was just perfect. The music has been great all season, but I mean, just everything in this, and they're just doing a slow draw away from Din Djarin, and he's just looking just like absolutely like just defeated, yet relieved and proud but sad.
Yeah, proud and sad. Like he did his mission. He knows this is the best thing for Grogu.
Yeah.
I don't
know about you, but like my dad rarely ever cried. So like the times he did, it was like getting a knife to the gut. You know what I mean?
No, it reminded me of like the first time I went to college.
That's literally the first time I saw my dad cry.
When I was saying bye to them.
He pulled me away and he just started crying. I was like, what is going on? Like, am I gonna die? Like, that's what it was like seeing Mando there. Like just choking back tears. You know what I mean? Like it was rough, dude. Like I made a post like after I saw this episode because I loved it. I was like, and I love Star Wars again. Even though I love Mandalorian the whole time. Like to me, this was Star Wars episode. This was
I gotta say, and I don't feel this way, but there's a lot of flack given to this episode because they put Luke Skywalker in it. There are a number of people that were like, we were enjoying the Mandalorian because it was not part of the Skywalker saga. And now you've made it part of the Skywalker saga, and it's not its own thing anymore. And I'm like, okay, I can see that point of view. I can see it. But because it had been nice that it was just like Mandalorian, you know what I mean?
But it really wasn't though. I mean, he met Bo-Katan, Clone Wars character.
Earlier, yeah.
He's met Ahsoka. He's met Boba Fett. Like this whole
season one.
I love season one that it was his own thing.
Yeah.
But this whole season has just been spin-off characters.
It has been spin-off characters, yeah.
So I like that.
So I liked it. As a big Star Wars fan, I really liked it. I was so pumped when Luke showed up. But that's just a little bit of the feedback that this episode has received.
I don't think he's going to be a reoccurring character.
No.
I think we might see him again if he gets Grogu back, because people are like, what is the show going to be now? But like, he's definitely going to get the kid back at some point. Like the kid isn't going to die like with the rest of the kids at the Kylo Ranch.
Can't. Is that this nickname? The Kylo Ranch?
The Kylo Ranch.
Did you just come up with that?
I just did it right there. Like I was stumbling over words, trying to combine Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren, and I just got the Kylo Ranch.
Kylo Ranch.
There you go, the Kylo Ranch, people.
Yeah.
So he's not going to die at the Kylo Ranch.
I hope not.
So like we know we're going to see him again. I don't think it's going to be like first episode of next season. It might not even be till the last episode of next season. So I don't think Luke is going to be a reoccurring character. So like the fact that if they just use him sparingly, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, and it doesn't feel like it's Skywalker saga again. To me, it just feels like, all right, we got some redemption. This season has been about redemption for some characters.
Yes.
Bringing back things that weren't canon, making them canon. So that's what that was to me. Here's some cool stuff for you guys.
Luke is still cool, people. Like Luke Skywalker should be looked at as a total badass and a brave Jedi who does the right thing, and not as a coward who gave up. Okay. So that's the way I choose to remember Luke.
Amen.
But we didn't mention earlier is Bo-Katan kind of also told Mando earlier, like, after this is done, will you help me take Mandalore? And he's like, I'll do whatever you want as long as we get the child.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be where we're headed for season 3.
I think that's what all of season 3 is, or most of it is good. I think that's going to be the driving plot,
which is cool.
Taking Mandalore. And then also who's going to be Mandalore? Who's going to be the leader? Is it going to be Din? Is it going to be her? is there going to be? There's got to be some sort of rivalry that pops up.
Going to be interesting.
Oh, and we forgot too. Moff Gideon, like, realizes like, hey, like they're gonna get saved. I'm not gonna make it out of here without getting some handcuffs placed on me. And he tries to kill himself. I think that's the first time we saw a guy electrocute himself. He did like a electrocution cyanide capsule in one episode, but like that's the first time we ever saw like a guy like try and commit suicide in Star Wars.
So let's break this down for a second, because you're right. We were so excited about Luke that we almost forgot about this whole part. Moff Gideon, like when he was on the ground earlier, finally we have a good use for a cape. Besides Doctor Strange's cape, we finally like have a good practical use for a cape. He uses it to cover up a pistol on the ground. Maybe I'll use this later. When they're all kind of distracted, Luke's just slicing through these guys. He shoots not Bo-Katan. He shoots the other one. I thought he shot Bo-Katan.
I think he might have shot at her.
He shot Bo-Katan.
He definitely shoots one of them, and then he tries to shoot the child, and Mando just jumps in the way.
Chests it up, baby. He dove in the way. I was pumped. I was like, yes, Mando.
This is the way. But after that happens, he's like, all righty, like, might as well just kill myself then. And Cara Dune just bams him in the face. I laughed so hard when that happened. I was
yeah.
Like, you can't even kill yourself.
Surprised he doesn't have one of those electrocuting capsules in his mouth to bite down on.
Yep. Anywho, though, then all the emotional stuff happens. We're crying. Credits roll. And good thing Colby told me to stick around. I normally do stick around just for the artwork. This was the first one, too. We didn't have the artwork credits.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. It made you feel like you're at the end of the movie then. You know, like at the end.
Yeah.
Then we get a little Marvel-inspired thing to like show you what the next thing is, the next spinoff. Boba Fett wasn't announced back when they were announcing all their million Star Wars shows. And
we were totally expecting it.
We were 100% expecting it. And we're in Boba Fett's, not Boba Fett's. Well, it does become
Jabba's palace.
Jabba's palace. It looks so much like it did from Return of the Jedi, which was just great. And then too, that weird Twi'lek guy.
Well, they're the Gamorrean guards were walking by, and I was like, "There's Steve and I." They're way prettier than us.
No.
Anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, yes.
What is that thing? What is that guy's name?
I think he's a Twi'lek. I don't remember what his name is, but his race, is a Twi'lek. I like that he's like fat now. Like he's like taken over Jabba's role since he got choked out by Leia in a bikini. Yeah. And so he's like, I'll take over his role. And even though like his race is just built like that, I am also going to get giantly fat like a giant worm and sit here too, just like he did. And he's got like 6 chins now.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden bodies start falling down the steps. Kind of reminds you of back when Return of the Jedi then too.
Luke
when
came down,
Yeah. He was choking dudes out with just a little hand wave. Like, go choke yourself, But they're getting blaster shot, and it's Fennec. Yeah, she shoots the guards. She shoots the dancer slave girl free.
Yeah.
And of course she stands right over the Rancor pit.
I was thinking this. I was like, what are you doing?
No. Move forward or backward.
Boba did too. He just walked right on the thing.
I was like,
the Rancor's dead. Remember, the Rancor is dead, so maybe there's nothing in there now, but who's to say they didn't get another thing?
You could have got he looks like Jabba the Hutt. Why wouldn't you get another thing just like Jabba the Hutt? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know how many Rancors are out there, but
they didn't throw a rug over it. You know what I mean? Like it's still air holes for a cage. Like if you didn't have a critter down there anymore, you'd at the very least think like, let's make this look nice. You know what I mean? Like let's throw a rug down. Like let's change. Like,
by the way, this place is run down now. By the way,
yeah,
this is not the party it was back then with the frog lady singing. The saliva comes out of his mouth when he does it. Yeah, this place isn't as lively as it used to be. Shoots the slave free. She comes up. Boba Fett comes down. And the dude's like, Boba, whoa, what the heck? How are you alive? It's like, well, you got eaten by the Sarlacc. So, whoa, how'd you come back? Yeah. And Boba doesn't answer him at all when he's like saying this stuff to him. And like, he just shoots him. He just Kills him. By the way, if you notice, that throne has Rancor heads on it, which is cool.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
sweet. And Boba just sits down. Fennec just gets out some blue wine or whatever drink that is.
yeah.
And she's just chilling there.
And I'm just like, why did you want to go back to Jabba's palace so bad? But anyway, I guess just to be maybe crime or like head of the crime syndicate or something.
Yeah, that's what I was
kind of
thinking.
thought Boba would be going for some better things in his retirement, but I guess not.
Yeah, he seemed like he's maybe a little bit more honorable back when he made his deal with Mando, or maybe he just likes to make his, like, he's very literal anytime he makes a promise. He's like, I said the kid's safe. Like, that's just the way the contract works. Like, I don't care about anyone. Like, that's just my contract. It's just like, I have to be literal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hurt my cred. I don't know why he showed up here. If it looks a little run down, does he still have the connections, the gang connections? I don't know. But I think that's why. I think, he's just like, I'm going to start running this.
Well, we'll find out in the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. And I'll talk more about the Boba Fett and other things in our season talk. But man, I love this episode. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was so great. Star Wars. It was great Mandalorian payoff, for the character and the story, everything they had set up with that. But then they also gave us a great Star Wars moment in the form of Luke and
just killing everyone.
It was awesome.
All those dark troopers so easily. That was it, people.
That
was season 2. It did not disappoint. We have a lot of exciting Star Wars stuff coming out in the future now. So we'll just have to wait and see where it goes. I heard Pedro Pascal say that he's going to be making a lot of appearances in the other shows too.
Oh, damn.
Mando. So there's going to be a lot of crossover, and hold on tight. Hopefully it doesn't get too convoluted, but But Mandalorian, it's been outstanding. I can't wait for more.
Yeah, we're going to do a full season recap review, and we'll probably talk about our other thoughts on the shows and just the whole Star Wars thing in general. So make sure you check that out here. That'll be out soon. But also have some happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
Hanukkah.
Christmas, everybody.
All that stuff to you guys. I think this will be our last one before maybe after Christmas or even after New Year. We don't know, but thank you for sticking with us this year.
Thank
too.
You so much.
We love you. We love you so much.
We love you all.
This is the way.
This is the way, and may the Force be with you.